Mindtree posted a positive set of numbers in Q3 that was on the back of a solid execution, and the management is hopeful of strong numbers going forward.
Mindtree has set of numbers in all-round growth, really read on solid execution, and I have with me the management of Mindtree joining us for a quick update on what the road ahead is like. Thank you so much, Rastov and Jagan, for joining us on ET Now. Congratulations on a good set of numbers. Analysts have also given it a thumbs up. But tell us, will this growth momentum continue in Q4 and the next financial year as we move in terms of, are we back on the growth path after initial hiccups that you saw in Q1 and Q2?
Definitely, yes. I think our immediate expectations for Q4 would be a growth momentum similar to what we saw in Q2 and Q3. But even on a longer term basis, we are extremely confident. Strong deal momentum, very stable pipeline, continuing to improve win rates in the market. Our positioning on both digital as well as traditional services are generating a lot of traction. So overall, I think there's a lot of positives based on all the investments we have put in. But even beyond that, we sense a sort of a recovery in a market sentiment as well. And that is most directly visible in digital, where we are seeing customers committing to much larger programs than what we used to see in the past there, which is a reflection of underlying confidence in their own business. So there's a market revival and, like I said, also an improvement from a Mindtree perspective. So very confident of growth even into FY19.
Jagan, coming to you in terms of margins, they have also come in at a very stable rate. In fact, they've improved as well. But with Bluefin and Magnet 360, it's still a work in progress. How long more will we see these issues sorted out? You've sort of indicated in the commentary before a few more quarters. So that should also aid margins, right, apart from cost optimization efforts that you're undertaking?
Definitely. Bluefin and Magnet 360 has improved compared to last quarter, and over a period of last 2-3 quarters, the continuous improvement is happening. We are seeing a strong traction in their pipeline now. Their revenue is also improving now, and this will the further improvement in their revenue will actually add to their margins and improve their margins in the coming quarters. But what we are expecting is it may take a couple of quarters more for us to call them as stable and growing on the margin front. But revenue traction seems to be back in track for these companies now.
A quick overview on, apart from the sectors really, BFSI and retail, how are they looking, and as we move ahead, are you seeing a lot of client engagements in these two areas?
Definitely yes, but on different tracks. In BFSI, we had some very strong wins for the traditional or run the business kind of programs. They are ramping up really well. Q3 last year, we announced the largest deal in the history of Mindtree. Earlier this year, we announced a large deal for another BFSI customer. So we are continuing to see a lot of momentum, but more in the run the business kind of areas. In our retail, CPG and manufacturing vertical, we are seeing very strong momentum, great wins, including in this quarter. We announced that we have been chosen as the anchor partner for a transformative digital program by a large beauty products company. So in the retail CPG vertical, we are seeing a lot of traction on digital. So the type of wins are different, but both are showing strong momentum for us.
In terms of deal wins, the only negative that analysts have sort of indicated is at a 12-year trailing period, they're down about 20%. So, largely, how do you see order book and deal wins sort of stack up? Are you seeing healthy momentum? Because that is also something which you've been quite strong as far as commentary is concerned.
Definitely. The pipeline for us has been growing very, very strong. And as Rostov highlighted yesterday in another interview, the pipeline, the decision making has been very good in the last 2 quarters from the customer side. In spite of lot of decision making that is concluding, we are able to build up the pipeline back to the same level or even better than what was there in the last quarter. So with the strong pipeline, contract closure can be different in each of this quarter. This quarter has a seasonal impact. Generally, the contract closure will be slightly slower compared to other quarters. However, this quarter also, we have improved the total contract closure in this time. So we don't see any red flag in this side. The contract closures have been very, very positive for us. We are improving quarter on quarter on the total numbers of contract we are closing. We are seeing the positive momentum to continue with this contract closure also.
So the deal wins really look healthy as you move ahead. Rostov, on digital, that's something that you've bet, quite early on. The larger piece is now sort of seeing the big opportunity in digital. It's about 40% of your revenues, but what scope does this have as you move ahead? You're seeing your initial bets pay off, but will we see a next level of growth that will really drive the business that is coming from the digital side of it?
Oh, absolutely. I think the digital is moving into a more mature phase or the more industrialized phase right now. So larger organizations are making larger bets on digital. So I think there's a huge wave of growth opportunity that we are tracking in digital, and all the investments that we've put in so far place us in a very good position to sort of leverage that marketplace momentum. However, we are also beginning to think of what is beyond digital. So like we thought about digital in 2011-12 before it became a mainstream kind of a phenomenon, we are now starting to think of what next. So what are the future growth opportunities, and how do we place similar sort of seed bets in those as well. So beginning to start thinking for the future, which is beyond digital as well. But on digital itself, I think there's an enormous amount of market opportunity. Very excited about that.